And also, I don't want people to think. I don't want people to think.
I have to have everyone watching me eat the chant. You talk and they watch. If you think everyone's looking at you speaking, they're watching me eat the chant.
Should I start again?
No.
I don't want.
Yeah.
But make it.
You ready?
If you got the film, is it working?
It's recording.
We're in the middle.
Then it started.
You're half a minute in.
I'm in, because I want them to see that I've got notes, because they think I speak without preparing, which would be enormous chutzpah.
Yeah. Not that I ever do it. אתה רוצה שאני מדבר עברית? לא, אצלי לא כל כך בסדר. בסדר גם.
Yeah. There's a very interesting and important Rashi. I'm very fond of Rashi, but on this week's Sedra, you find it in a little bit later on in the Sedra, Chuv Ches Yud Zayin, yeah. And Rashi has a completely different look at what had happened. He says as follows. I don't know whether people they get worried about the geography. I don't think the geography is very important.
No.
Important is the idea of Rashi. It says as follows, Rashi. Rashi reads as follows. Sh'amar Rabbeinu, Sh'amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzadik Zeh, Bu lebeis beloini, v'yifta b'lo elina. Then he says, V'oid aru, Kur Yerushalayim beis el, v'zilis hi v'lo Yerushalayim. V'hech elom d'loi maken, Ayma ani. This is. I'm not going to go into the geography, but the thought of Rashi, which is extremely interesting. Aymani, she'uka ha-hamaria ubu lekan. What happened is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made ha-hamaria come, lekan, I think here means to lose.
Yeah.
V'zi kefitza su'uretz, that is kefitza su'uretz, and more b'shidus cholim, more talks about it in the cholim. Shabu b'es amigdash l'krusai ad beis el. V'zei v'yifka b'mukam, that's what v'yifka b'mukam. The im timer, Rashi asks, כשאובה יעקב על בית המקדש, מדיע לו עקב שם. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu have to do Kvitzis Adera? And the days that Beit HaMikdash comes to meet Yaakov Avinu. Why didn't he stop Yaakov Avinu as he was about to go past when he went past the Beit HaMikdash and went on to Choron? Says Rashi, V'im toimer, כשאובה Yaakov al Beit HaMikdash, מדיע לו עקב שם. Why did he stop him?
Yeah.
Says Rashi, that a very important principle. Ihu lo yuev libe lispale b'mukim shispale avoisov. U'min hashemayim yakvuhu. If he didn't stop at the Beis HaMikdash, the place
his father.
His forefathers. So because Baruch is going to stop him, that could never happen. He went to Choron. That's the story according to this. It's based on Chazal. He had Choron Uzel, Gedoma Berge Danusha. When he came to Choron, Efsha. So vati amukim shispalu avoisa v'lois palalti boy. You have dartel mahada. V'chuza ad beis el v'kovtze loy hu'uretz. That is the story. The story is if Yaakov didn't want to stop, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to stop him. The minute he decided to go back, what's the story? What's the principle behind all this? I think what is behind all this is Hakoil b'dei Shemayim chitz b'yirah Shemayim. Very important principle that you have to, in order to, no course come. I got it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You have to exercise free will. In order to do a mitzvah, it has to be done as an exercise of your free will, also known as bechira. And a man has bechira, and if he doesn't exercise his bechira, then he's not doing what he should be doing. It's his bechira that matters. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu isn't going to interfere with this bechira. He's not going to interfere with this bechira. If he has made this decision, then Abu L'Tah, if you're going to, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives all the help, because he's done all that's expected from him. You cannot prove free will. There's discussion about it. But as a philosopher said, if there is such a thing as free will, the first thing I will do with my free will is believe in free will. You have to believe it. It's something which is one of the ikra emunah. It's one of the ikra emunah is that a mitzvah needs, the ikra is that you have made the decision to do this mitzvah. And you cannot have the concept, that's very important, you cannot have the concept of schar v'oinish for a mitzvah unless you have a belief in free will. If a man is not doing it on his free will, the mitzvah is not the mitzvah. What has he done? It's the exercise of his free will, which is the test, or the test that he has to pass. With this, so the lesson, as I understand it here, is that Hakoil b'dei Shemayim chutz b'yirah Shemayim. There can be no mitzvah without free will. If the Torah makes a lav or an assay, it means that the Torah believes, which may be important for the problem of homosexuality, etc. The Torah believes that you are able to exercise your free will to do something about it. So the Bechira is not always equally easy. There may be factors which make your Bechira very difficult, but if you have no Bechira, then there couldn't be a law. That's how I understand it. And there couldn't be an aseh. So if there is an aseh or lois aseh, means HaKadosh Baruch Hu says there is a bechira, and you have. Sometimes you have to make more effort. Sometimes it is much less effort, but there is always in the kudas of bechira an ability on your part to control yourself, which I think lies behind this Rashi, and it's an extremely important principle. This will explain, I think, Nefesh HaChaim. I'm going to hear Nefesh HaChaim on this. A pusik kol chachma lev asher melesev ruach chochma. Says the Gemara in Bruches, ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu noisen chochma, eile lemi sheyesh bo chochma. Kol chachma lev
asher melesev
chochma lev asher melesev ruach chochma. Eile chochma eile lemi sheyesh bo chochma. Shenema v'lev kol chacham lev nesati chochma. You in Bruches. So the Nefesh HaChaim says, "V'ha-chochma rishoyna ma'ayin timtza." So you're going to have chochma. You have no chochma. So he says more, says, Eile lefi shenema reishes chochma yiras Hashem. That's Pshat in Nefesh HaChaim, I think. The Pshat is, there is some
basic
ability, yes. Der Sheves gereise shel chochma, koitz ha-mishma bekirba es chochma sa-toira. וזה נית להסיק רק מכוח עצמו. כמו שום בחז"ל, הכל בידי שמיים, חוץ מהשמיים. זה שאומר בגמור, אין הקדוש ברוך הוא נויס לחוכמה, אלא למי שיש לו חוכמה. In other words, you have a way of your shemayim which is not controlled by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That is something for which you have bechira. And once you have exercised your bechira, as you can see here, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you krisis haderach. Pischuli
Pesach כפסחי של
כמאחד, גאולם של,
פסחי של עולם.
בדרך גאולם של, So in other words, then things go easy. Then the rest is easy. There's nothing more you have to do. You have to make
the first choice. The first step.
Sometimes it can be more, it's not of equal difficulty to everybody, but everybody is capable. If it's a mitzvah, it means that everybody is capable of coping with it. And if there's a law, it means that everybody is capable. It's more difficult for some people, more difficult in some circumstances, but it's always possible. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Let me go on and Vayachaloim Chuf Ches Yud Beis. Say the person correctly. Vayachaloim in the Shulam Mitzvah Arza V'Rosh Magia Sheman V'De Melach Lehem Oilem V'Yordim Boy. That's what happens. Says Rashi. Oilem Tchila V'Arkach Yordim Maluchem Sheviu Be'oretz Ein Yoitzim L'chutz L'oretz V'Ul L'Ukia V'Yordim Melach Chutz L'oretz L'Vayetzai. What's Rashi saying? Now I think Rashi is saying something very fundamental. That the shmira which you need in Chutz L'Oretz is not the same shmira as you need in Eretz Yisrael. No, what that is not the same.
Kippot and nodding.
It's not the same shmira. I don't know, but I haven't said yet what the difference is.
That was enough. That makes a difference.
I haven't yet said what the difference is. Lefi ani starting, I mean, I have no support, but well, I have support as is emes. As emes is a good support. Yeah. What's the difference? So what's the difference between the shmira that you need b'chutz l'oretz and the shmira that you need in Eretz Yisrael? I should know. I'm Olei Chadash, getting on for 5 years now. בגלל זה אני לא יכול לדבר עברית. But yeah, the shmira is a different one. What's your shmira in Chutz L'Oretz? Your shmira in Chutz L'Oretz is to keep away from the rest of the population. Have nothing to do with them. That is a shmira because you're afraid of assimilation. The shmira that you need in Eretz Yisrael is just the opposite. It's a shmira which brings to Achtes of Am Yisrael. There's no question. Because I used to sagen, no man comes along and talks to the Chidushim, says, it's in the center. It's in the center. Vayikach ba'avnei hamukaim vayulin sham. The various stones became one stone. What's it all about? It's all about Achtes. It symbolizes Achtes which you need in Eretz Yisrael, and Achtes which is totally essential because Yisrael arevim zeh. Which to me means that when there's Friday night and there are 13 million or 40 million Jews can yirbu, your chiyuv is to see that 14 million people have lit Shabbos candles. That's your chiyuv. What you can do is probably more limited. Yeah. But the duty is on you.
The worry. Yeah. The worry.
What's the shmira that you need?
To be able to become one. It's not easy. It's not easy to become one.
No, to do it the right way.
I mean, look what's happening in the country. What do you mean? This was a party, political, a party. He should be the Zerosh Memshala Abba.
What's the shmira?
השמירה הוא נגד.
Dennis, these people without you, I couldn't say it all.
So what's the shmira? So what's the shmira in Eretz Yisrael? So what is the shmira?
You should keep away from machloikas.
Oh.
Keep away from machloikas. What did the Chofetz Chaim? I mean, it's not me saying this to the Chofetz Chaim.
But you need malachim for that.
What did the Chazon? It would be helpful. What did the Chazon is say? And those people who don't understand that, they still live in Poland. They still live in Poland.
הם עדיין גם, מי שלא מבין לעשות את האחדות, they're still, I don't know about, they're in Russia for sure.
They're still
in Russia, Lieberman, yeah?
You have to keep away from the goyim. Our duty is to one to the other. And I've got anything else on my paper.
It's beautiful.
I've said enough.
You said fantastic.
Let me say something from my son Yankee.
Yankee, yeah.
He's got a nice motto. I like him very much. He says, when you look at Rashi, it says that the stones, yeah. Why were the stones made around him? To save him from the Chayes Ruas. So now what happens to the Chayes Ruas? How do you say? As is achter sucht my son Yankee.
Chayes Ruas gibt nicht.
Ich kann mal for the Chayes.
We should be zeicha to achdus and not a third. Not a third, what's it called?
Got nothing else on paper.
Shkoyach. Absolutely beautiful.